Hey everyone, we are here on Friday, April 1st. The options have expired yesterday, and tax season for a lot of people wrapped up yesterday. So we had a little volatility yesterday, and we're seeing the positive effects today. So, tax wise, why does the market usually crash right before tax season and then recover shortly thereafter? Typically, well, because people sell at a loss and then rebuy immediately. That way they can show the loss, rebuy, and sort of move on that way. Or maybe they had gains. Maybe they want to sell and show certain gains and just get it over with and be taxed on. Although most people don't really do that. That has been done before. Bitcoin's up 1.38%. Ethereum is flying up 5.2%. Solana's been the winner. Solana is now in number six position, passing XRP. They are flying up the charts. Now, Solana is flying up the charts for a number of reasons, and that is our development platform. We're building on top of Solana. They've got some cool wallet features that can basically replace point of sale systems. They've got some badass technology that makes things fly and move fast, a little bit more centralized than we like. They've had some issues with network uptime. Hopefully, they've gotten that resolved. But Solana is a fantastic blockchain. The only concern, so when you look at the blockchains, none of them are profitable. So all blockchains lose money in general. So the idea is eventually they'll, catch up and make money as the users start coming on, the transaction volume comes on. And with Solana, that's happening at a pretty rapid pace. Even Ethereum loses money. Bitcoin loses quite a bit of money because you're actually selling blocks. So what is a blockchain? Blockchain is a bunch of nodes and the more nodes you have, the more secure it is. The more secure it is, the more people actually trust it and like it. Nobody wants a blockchain that can be easily hacked or taken advantage of. So you've got your different nodes, and basically it's how much money can you have for each of your blocks. So what's a block? It's basically a set structure of data that you can have in a certain allotment. So as you see places like Cardano or like we're improving our performance, all they're doing is increasing their block size and how much data can go in there. So, there's a lot of different elements to that. Ethereum is changing from proof of work, which is where you have active miners with GPUs running, to proof of stake, where you're going to stake. You're going to have a lot less money paid out. With proof of work, they pay out a ton of money for people maintaining their actual blockchain component, for being a node, for being a miner. You actually get rewarded in Ethereum for solving mathematical problems, and you get paid out. They pay out a ton of money. On proof of stake, they're going to pay out a lot less. I think they're going to be paying out something like $3 million a day on proof of stake, and they're paying out 90% more than that on proof of work. So when they actually switch from in the next 3 months from proof of work to proof of stake, Ethereum will be the first profitable blockchain. Okay. The first doesn't exist until now. Now, the crazy thing about that is their fees are astronomical. So I'm wondering if it's going to stay, because who the hell wants to buy a $60 NFT and pay a $68 fee for it? When you can go on the Solana side and, pay a fraction of a penny as your fee. So Solana's fees are way less. There's going to be a mass migration. You're already starting to see it away from Ethereum into your Solanas, into your Avalanches, into your Cardanos, as they add, better and better versions for NFTs and smart contracts. Up to this point, Ethereum was the lead dog. So yes, Ethereum will be profitable. I think Ethereum's price hasn't reflected that yet. I think Ethereum's getting ready to take off in the short term. Long term, they may hemorrhage users until they get this gas thing figured out. It's a bit of a cluster F over there at Ethereum for the gas fees, and the proof of stake is not going to solve that issue at all. So Solana is now tied in with OpenSea. OpenSea has announced that they're going to be supporting Solana, which means basically instead of using just Ethereum, where you're just getting crushed by gas fees, you can now upload your NFTs to the Solana side and have almost no fees at all. So what do you think is going to happen? Of course, people are going to go with a Solana option on there, because why wouldn't you? You can sell more product, less money. It's not like you get a percentage of the gas fees. You don't. So you're going to see Solana really take off. And with that technology, sky's the limit. So Solana's been just blowing up. And that's a good thing for us as well, because now we're part of the Solana community. And they are our horse that we've hitched our wagon to from a technology standpoint. Today marks a pretty big day. There's only 2 million Bitcoin left to be mined as of today. So 21 million total in the pool in the hopper. 19 million have been mined and or lost. Only 2 million more left to exist, other than the ones that you can buy, trade, and sell. That's not many, and I think there's been about 8 million lost. So if you think about it, 13 million or so Bitcoin total that will be in existence to be able to trade. There's a lot more people that want Bitcoin than will ever be able to get it. Very bullish for the price. It's going to be really interesting to see how much money, time, and energy it's going to cost to mine that last Bitcoin after the difficulty doubles in 2024. Every time that's the beauty of is they built in inflationary, anti-inflationary, deflationary elements into the Bitcoin math. So every 4 or 5 years or whatever it is, the mining difficulty doubles so that the supply goes down. Simple supply and demand. If you have less supply and the demand is still there, then of course, the price goes up. That's what happens consistently every time Bitcoin is halved or doubled in the degree of difficulty. It also corresponds with there's computer chips and other things that are getting better faster, but that's not really going to happen this time around as much. At least I don't think it will, because we have such a chip shortage, especially if China goes in to Taiwan. Taiwan's really the top chip place in the world. If Taiwan's option is to do what they say that they're going to do, which is possibly blow up the chip manufacturing in order to dissuade China from coming in, there's not going to be chips. We already have huge supply problems. You're seeing, I think it's Toshiba is building some stuff here in the United States, outside of Austin, Texas, and another plant. But the materials and other things to build these chips is sort of going away. So I don't know that you're going to get the massive increases that we thought we were going to see with quantum-esque chips or quantum computers mainstream as quickly. So as this Bitcoin doubling happens, you might see a bigger jump. You might see smaller supply because the chips aren't mining as many anyway. Usually the chip increase in speed and power tends to sort of minimize a little bit of that doubling in the doubling in hash power it'll take. May not happen the same way it's happened in the past due to some of the strange things that are happening here in 2022 and have over the last couple years. But 2 million left. That's not many. So we've got some predictions. I always like people with their predictions. Bitcoin's going to 1.3 million. Bitcoin's going to 10 million. Bitcoin. Well, I'd like to see Bitcoin go back to 50. I agree that it's going to continue to go up. Everyone was excited about Bitcoin at 100K going into the end of last year. Didn't happen. Went the opposite direction. A lot of this stuff with these predictions, math predictions and stuff. That's why with the charts, it's always good to follow them. And I tell you, I don't, but I do. I saw when Bitcoin was below 42 and a half, they were like, that means it's going to 38 where we've broken the resistance. It's nothing but downhill from there. And they didn't take into account that yesterday was tax season and all the options expiring. So Bitcoin recovered pretty nicely, is up to 46,461. Snoop Dogg is running another NFT collection. That guy's all over the metaverse, man. He is into everything. He's not only on every commercial, he's diving into the metaverse in every possible way. I mean, dude's making things work. He's putting his entire record label in NFTs. That's awesome. He gets it, and he actually owns the record label. It's not some small one either. It's the big boy out there. So we have a weekend coming up, and usually that means that things sort of tend to calm down. Fridays, Saturdays, it sort of tends to come to. This has been a pattern for a while. The weekend tends to sort of, the air comes out, and then Sunday night sort of comes back to life. I don't know what's going to happen this time around. It might be a little bit different because the first and the options expiring and the tax thing. You might see a little bit more momentum going in. Tomorrow, probably up and down standard, and hopefully Sunday we can get back to some good news. The X factor is what happens in Ukraine. Anything that's happening on the global market, any volatility, you start to see that FUD come in. The fear and doubt. People are like, well, what's going to happen? Well, pulling your money out, nothing's going to happen good there either. But markets do tend to react pretty violently. There were some quotes from IMF that the dollar is in trouble. It is. That the Russian invasion, Ukraine war is going to cause issues. It is. It has. So keep your eye on that because the Russian ruble has already recovered. It's already back to its initial value. So all that talk about crushing sanctions, yeah, it didn't work. Russia just tied it to gold, and now we in the dollar are in trouble. So it's just something to keep in mind. Metaverse, $13 trillion opportunity according to Citigroup. So Citigroup, they did a detailed analysis talking about how many people are going to be on there. 13 trillion by 2030. So that's only 8 years. That's a big number. Big number. They think about 5 billion people will be in the metaverse. I don't know about that. We could do a whole different thing on the metaverse, but right now, I mean, I've looked at Decentraland. I've looked at Earthel. I've looked at all the big ones that are a sandbox. All these things. Right now, I mean, I hate to say this. I freaking hate to say this, but right now, Facebook has the best with Oculus, the best setup. It's just realistic. There are some good ones out there that aren't even, pushing metaverse. They're just great pieces of centralized tech. The tech needs to catch up. The problem is right now is there's so many different groups that are focused on NFT and selling land plots. The tech isn't there to make it a badass place to hang out, which is what you want. Nobody wants to go just sit in a digital disco and not really have it be awesome. Just playing loud music with a bunch of avatars walking by is not going to get people jazzed up to go spend money, spend time, and make it worthwhile. It's cool for a second, but people aren't going to live there, if you know what I mean. Like it's interesting, but the tech hasn't caught up. And I, for the life of me, don't want it to be Meta that actually owns this world. It'd be too weird. They're just terrible at everything that they do, and they're Orwellian and dystopian to the nth degree. It has to be decentralized, or nobody's going to trust Zuckerberg with their meta life. But we need somebody to step up and actually make something cool that will get us excited. And quite frankly, I don't want to live in a pair of goggles. I'd rather have it be, something a little bit more wearable, maintainable, realistic. It'll probably be contact lenses at some point. If I can access cool data and do cool things with contacts on, but still be in the real world, much more appealing than wearing a big, strange piece of goggles that'll probably make me blind in 10 years. So there's a lot going on here. We try to keep these under 12 minutes, 13 minutes. This one went a little further. Hope everybody has a great weekend. I may jump on this weekend and just do another one if there's something happening in the market. Otherwise, everybody be safe, be happy, and we'll do this again soon. Thank you.